Hi everyone and welcome to Still Single, helping single Christian women find contentment, joy and hope in their single season. So this video I'm going to talk about, what am I talking about? Summer's Secret. So last week I basically mixed up the episode numbers. So this episode is Summer's Secret episode 1, but I've changed the video like name and stuff for the other one. So Summer's Secret ultimately is, obviously if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. But when I wrote, I'm just going to get into it because what I'm going to do is lessons learned is a bit of a commentary for every single still single story. So many still single stories. So it's like lessons learned and what we can learn from like the story of these girls. So I'll start by talking a little bit about why I wrote Summer's Secret and then I sort of get into it. I'll get into what I think she should do. So with Summer's Secret, I wrote it because I think as single Christian women, no one is exempt from temptation. And I think the enemy is very good at bringing people or guys that are, they just look the part. They look good. They're good looking. And then like you just haven't had a company of a male in a long time. The cologne, everything, the build, the way they talk, the way they act, and then you kind of get sucked in, and then you start to fall into sin patterns that you're trying to avoid as a single. And I wrote Summer's Secret because I feel like there's a lot in there where she talks about how she's waited for so long. There's only so much that someone can do in terms of waiting. So there's a lot of frustrations in there. And I wrote that because I think we do have those frustrations and we do experience these things. But then I also wanted her to, go to God with these feelings, go to God with these frustrations, because I think rather than channeling it into fueling the temptations and fueling those desires, it would be good if she was able to channel it into like God and at his feet. And then I wrote a lot in there. There was a few moments in there where I talked about, what did I talk about? I spoke about how she, what was it? It was obviously to do with her waiting, but yeah, it was like she kind of, she's obviously tired of waiting and stuff like that. And then there's an element of, obviously this guy is just not for her, and the premise of it is you're sort of becoming a person that you're not really. So for example, like, you know, with lust, like we see with David, like after the whole Bathsheba incident, like that was like obviously he had sinned and then someone had died because he killed Bathsheba's husband in battle. And it shows you how like something that seems harmless, that's just like lust or like temptation, can just stir into sins that you didn't even think were possible. So in Summer's Secret, you can hear her saying, oh, like she just ended up being a liar and she hated lying. She'd always lie to people. And it's funny how like those sorts of behaviors had led her to lying, which isn't good. So it just shows you like sometimes it's not just about lust, so to speak, but it's also what else it can lead to. There's so much noise in the background. Had to start the video again because my mum, you could hear her loud voice in the background. Let me sort myself out. I'm in my sister's room and this girl's room is interesting. So let me sit like this actually. Yeah, so yeah, there's just a lot in there about like frustrations and then frustration leading you to sin. And even when she sort of speaks, you can hear her perspective of it's just fueled with frustration. But the thing is, I think sometimes when you're single, you become angry at God and then you're like, oh, I might as well just do what I always do, or I might as well just like do what I like because God is obviously doing what he likes in my single season. But it's not the right attitude. And I think it sets you back because I think you want to be a single that is not living your life in a perfect way, because we're not perfect, but you want to live your life kind of moving forward, even if it's like a hard moving forward and that you're going through a lot and it's challenging and all these different things. You still want to be moving forward, but not backsliding and going like backwards, so to speak. So yeah, Summer's Secrets are really good. I really enjoyed writing it. I really enjoyed like forming her character and stuff like that. But ultimately, I think the decision that she should make is she shouldn't pick up his phone call, she shouldn't go to his house. And I think it's time for her to sort of end things with him. Just being clear that she's like, that what she, like speaking to him maybe, and like getting some accountability, and obviously like making things clear and setting the boundaries that she should have set from the beginning. Because he's obviously not the person for her. And then she needs to like speak to her friend Sean. So her friend Sean, basically, she never told her friend Sean about the whole thing, so she needs to do that, which will give her accountability. I feel like as singles we definitely need accountability, especially when it comes to temptation, because I think it's so easy to kind of like hide and like not tell people, but they're believing for the best in you, and the people around you want you to do well, and they want you to like not sin, you know. And I think even though it's difficult, accountability is needed. So yeah, so that's that with Summer's Secret. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that she should answer his call and maybe speak to him in that moment, if you think she should give it some time, if you think that it's time for her to really get accountability. Let me know if you think that he's the person for her. Like, let me know what your thoughts are. Of course, put it in the comments, or you can go to Summer Secret on my YouTube channel for you to comment. But yeah, some engagement will be good. But yeah, until next week, bye.